I am going to tell you a story of a pirate named Henry Avery. Henry Avery, also known as Captain Avery, was a notorious English pirate who operated in the late 17th century. He is best known for leading one of the most profitable pirate raids in history, known as Pirate Round. In 1695, Avery and his crew of about 100 pirates captured a heavily loaded Mughal ship which was returning from its pilgrimage to Mecca. The ship was carrying a vast amount of treasure including gold, silver and precious gems valued at around pound sterling 600,000, equivalent to tens of millions of dollars today. After many successful raids like this one, Avery and his crew of pirates decided to divide the spoils and live the life of piracy. They were thinking that they are going to live happily ever after with all those riches. They were so wrong. All crew members landed in Scotland and split up, each carrying his share of treasure. Many of the crew members immediately drew attention to themselves by spending money freely. Curious townspeople began to ask difficult questions about the background of men and their money. This caused the crew to panic and they started fleeing. Many arrests were made. In those days, when pirates were caught, they were hanged. As for Captain Avery, he moved to a small town and took a disguise of a sailor. Avery wanted to sell some of his diamonds to the nearby merchants, but this was more than a humble sailor could earn in a year. So this merchant made Avery an offer which unfortunately he could not refuse. These merchants paid him only a small deposit, took all of the diamonds and refused to give him another shilling. When Avery complained about this, these merchants suggested that he could complain to the local sheriff. Perhaps the sheriff would be interested to learn how he was able to come up with such large number of jewels. Finally, Avery lost all of his treasures to the merchants. He lived in a poverty for a number of years. He died cursing these merchants, saying that they were good pirates at land as he was at the sea. This story serves as a good example why we need to focus on anti-money laundering. First, no matter how successful criminals are at the crime, if law enforcement can track disposing of the loot, criminal will end up as a Captain Avery. Second, if we require every individual with huge wealth to disclose their source of income, criminals will find it difficult to explain the source of income adequately and they will be caught. The last but very important point is, in Captain Avery case, British government spent a lot of money to catch him. They had employed navy ships to patrol the sea, but what actually brought to his sad demise was not able to spend his loot. So countries and law enforcement have realized that if they could prevent criminals in using their illegal proceeds, they will weaken these criminals and eventually leading them to the same fate as a Captain Avery.